Dr. Gracie, and I'm here to tell you about whiplash. Whiplash is due to a force on the back of your neck, and it pushes your neck forward and backwards very forcefully, like the cracking of a whip. This is a real-life patient who has suffered from whiplash. Alex, what happened?
See, I was backing out of my car, and then I just hit somebody, and I just went violently back like a crack of a whip.
Oh dear. Here's a muscle expert, Dr. Vivian, to tell you all about your injury.
So the first muscle that we're going to be talking about today is the sternocleidomastoid muscle, which is the muscle that you can see if I turn my head. It's the one that runs from your ear down to your manubrium. And the origin, it goes from your manubrium up to behind your ear right here. And that helps with turning your head and flexing your neck up and down. So the next muscle that we're going to be talking about is called the splenius cervicis, and it wraps around your neck. The origin is the spinous processes of T3 to T6, that's your thoracic vertebrae. They start where you can see them right here, and they insert into your transverse processes of C1 to C3, which is back up here, like the first one. And the actions that these muscles complete are rotating of the head and flexion of the neck. Okay, and the last muscle we'll be talking about is the levator scapulae. It does exactly what it sounds like. It elevates your scapula. The origin is the transverse processes of C1 to C4, so that's back up at the base of your skull. And the insertion is at the top ridge of your scapula.
Yeah, all those muscles are cool, but what does that have to do with whiplash?
Well, Dr. Julia is here to explain.
During these exercises, your muscles will contract. Microscopic muscle contraction is a complicated process that can be broken down into 6 steps. First, an action potential is released from a nerve cell. This action potential is caused by depolarization, when positive potassium ions move out of the cell and negative sodium ions move in. Then, motor neurons carry that action potential into the skeletal muscle fibers, creating a neuromuscular junction. Step 2 of the contraction process occurs when ACH is released into the synaptic cleft, making the muscle cell membrane more permeable to sodium. This causes another action potential. During step 3 of contraction, sodium ions rush into the sarcolemma and cause it to depolarize. Then, step 4 occurs. Calcium is released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum as a response to the sarcolemma depolarizing. The calcium clears actin binding sites so that contraction can finally occur. The 5th step, actual muscle contraction, can be described by the sliding filament theory. Myosin heads bind to the actin, and then the myosin heads pivot. The actin is pulled to the center, creating a cross-bridge formation. The cross-bridge is released when new ATP attaches to the myosin. When ATP splits into ADP and P, the myosin heads tilt up, allowing another cross-bridge to form. Basically, the cross-bridge allows the actin and the myosin filaments to slide past one another, resulting in the shortening of the sarcomere, which leads to muscle contraction. Finally, during the last step, calcium is removed from the cytoplasm of the muscle fiber, and tropomyosin blocks the active sites, preventing any further contractions. When you're performing your neck exercises, you're undergoing an isotonic contraction, which is when the tension in your muscles remains the same, but the actual length of the muscle changes. So now that we know how contraction happens and what kind of contraction is occurring during your exercises, we should learn a little bit about how muscles strengthen themselves. When you exercise, your muscles are being stretched and pulled so much that tiny little microscopic tears form within the muscle fiber. After you exercise, your muscles take time to repair themselves, and that's when they grow and get stronger. Resistance training increases the production of myofibrils, which then increases the thickness of your muscle fibers, causing hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is the addition of any protein structures into your muscle fibers, aka muscle growth. So basically, the more protein structures that you build onto your muscle fibers, then the more mass your muscle will gain, making your muscles even stronger.
Now that we know how muscles strengthen, let's see what we can do to strengthen these injured neck muscles back up again. Physical therapy is a great way to loosen stiff, injured muscles. The first exercise Alex will do today is looking from left to right, making sure to go slowly to stretch the muscle back out again. The next exercise is to look up and down. This will help stretch the levator scapulae, which in turn will help gain the strength to hold the head up again. Next, Alex will roll his head. This will help gain the flexibility back in his neck. The last exercises have the same concept by placing the hands in back and pressing back, placing one hand to the side of the head and pressing towards the hand, repeating on the other side. Placing the hands in front and pressing forward will help strengthen all the muscles in the neck. Posture is also another way to strengthen the neck muscles. In the first picture, you see Alex practicing bad posture, whereas in the second, you see good posture. This helps not only strengthen the neck, but other muscles in the body, such as your core.
Thank you, Dr. Gracie. I feel so much better now.
Go. Here's a real patient who has suffered from whiplash.
Okay, cut.
Go.
Thank you, Dr. Gracie. Now I feel so much better.
Oh, it's your...
Gee, thank you, Dr. Gracie. I feel so much better.